This one is more so going to be a video for quite literally every single person that comes across this video. And I truly want you to know that you are a unique individual. I say this all the time in my videos. If you reflect back to all my previous videos, truly embody and internalize that you are unique. Your presence actually matters way more than you are led to believe within your own self. The impact that you have on this world is phenomenal, and you have to take initiative. You have to get yourself out there. The comfortability in getting yourself out there, yes, it takes time. It takes time to be comfortable and vulnerable with a bunch of people that you do not know. But the more you hold yourself in your shell, the more you keep yourself away from the world, the less opportunity you have to communicate with all sorts of people that are meant to be in your life. It takes baby steps, right? And when you are, let's say, give an example, content creation. For me, I used to have such a hard time talking on camera, but I feel as though a way to help me improve on that not only is practicing the craft, right? Recording videos. I've also started live streaming, and I talk to people, I interact with them live, like in the name. But when it comes to creating content and having those mental blockades, stop thinking too deeply. Your thoughts are going to resonate with other people. The way that we the way that we communicate with people within the world is by saying our perspective, and hearing other people's perspective gives you insight onto how other people around you think, and it lets you know the type of people that you want in your life. You should not think that you are so insignificant that your ideals don't even matter. You matter so much more than you are led to believe. You can impact so many people's lives just by simply being yourself, by simply getting yourself out there and speaking to all sorts of people. Believe in yourself and believe it to be true that it takes time, but this journey is something that you must pursue yourself. No one can make you get out there. No one can pick you up and say, come on, let's go. No amount of videos that you watch, including this one, can get you over the edge to finally chase and pursue your dreams and your passions, the things that you desire to do in life. If you operate in fear, you stunt yourself from so many avenues, so much greatness within yourself from ever actually getting out there. And I stumble over this because there are so many thoughts that comes to my mind when I think about this. It took me 23 years of my life, 23 years, to finally realize that the type of person that I am and the type of person that I want to become starts with me. It starts with one day at a time. And that one day at a time turns into weeks, which then turns into a month, which then follows with a year. You have to be consistent enough to understand that this growth is something that is determined after how much action you put into it, how much effort that you are. I think my charm smacked the heck out of this mic. But your growth is determined by how much you are actually pursuing it. And growth fluctuates per person. Not one journey is exactly the same. Your journey is different from the rest, which means you should not compare yourself. Comparison also takes us away from actually implementing things and going out to talk to people or create content or finally start that sport that you wanted to or practice that instrument that you desired, because we think we don't have time, or there has been so much time that has elapsed that it's not even our time anymore. It can always be your time. You have to start eventually. And I don't want us to keep putting things off for the next day, because the next day isn't promised. You can be bad yesterday, but you can be great today. And tomorrow, you might even be spectacular. You might reach people that you have not reached yet from yesterday. Days will continuously, they will fly by. They will come by. You will have more days. Each day that you are alive, praise God. Thank God for giving you another opportunity to work on your craft. But within this given time, you have to truly put in the energy and the effort in order to build yourself into the person that you are meant to be. It doesn't come with sitting around waiting, thinking that you will be lucky one day, because luck is not real. I'm a strong believer in luck isn't real. People are striked with, there are rare occasions where people do make it out of, like, they are phenomenons and they are one in a million. But for the vast majority of us, we have a starting point, we have a grind in between, and we have a successful end. We might not have a successful end as fast as many other people. However, that successful end will always come and will be backed by the amount of effort and action that you put behind anything. You are not proficient at a sport. Let's take that as an example. Day one, right? You may have natural talents, all of this, but natural talent can get outbeat by someone who puts in effort day in and day out, who perfects their craft. And that's why natural talent and effort put together is such an amazing thing. And I feel as though, let me toot my own horn, because I can advocate for that a lot. I believe in myself so much so that I am comfortable saying this and telling you that you should be comfortable too. And the way that I present myself at times, yes, presentation can't improve. However, speech has always been a low attribute within my system. You know, whenever you're playing games and you have points that you put into systems, we're going to use this as an analogy. Some of you guys may not understand because you're not gamers, but I'm a gamer. I'm a nerd, as you can see. Look at my background. But you have different attribute points. And for me, my attribute within speech has always been low, and by choice within games. I never choose to increase my speech. But with me constantly putting myself out there and going live streaming, because I'm also a streamer, it has given me a newfound perspective that my yaps actually matter. Talking to people, real life, impacts people in the way that I have always wanted to do. My aspiration in life is to help others. And if you also have that aspiration to want to help the next person, because we are all living in this world together. We are all living not the same experience, but experiences that we can share amongst ourselves and within other people. Perspective is everything. And if you have more perspectives into your processing, you will understand so much more than being stuck in your own way, in your own lane. Taking a drink of water. Do not be afraid of perception, because really we all perceive people the way that we think, the way that we process, the way that we want to. You cannot please every person that comes across the screen. Not everybody is going to agree with you, but you will have people within your community that actually see eye to eye, that see the same way that you do in a different variant. They can bring something that you have not brought to the table, and they can spark that inspiration within yourself to actually pick apart and talk about it in a different light, in a different way that someone else has not. No matter how well spoken someone else is, you will always have a detail that they have left out that you can add on to it. You can speak about the same things, because we all talk about the same situations, the same problems, and the same resolutions, like to resolve that conflict. You might have a different way to resolve that conflict otherwise, with it being the same problem. So my point behind all of this is to realize that you yourself, you have an impact that is lying dormant within yourself. And it's up to you to really ignite that flame and to get out there and to pursue whatever it is that you want to do. It doesn't even have to regard people. It can be yourself. If you always wanted to release a clothing brand, do such. Do your research and get into it. You have to research and put in practice and action. It's not going to come to you no matter how much you think about it, no matter how much it's living in your head free rent. Because with it living in your head free rent, you're not actually out there implementing things. You might have it written down. You reflect back to that thing that you have written down, but are you actually actively putting it into the present, into the now, into the flesh? It takes practice, but practice makes perfect. Take the time to perfect your craft and realize that you, along with everyone else living on this earth, has the potential to do so.